Joey, you want
Well, I know
Holgo back?
that.
Yeah, he wants to.
No.
Darn it, Paul! I was just going to ask him that.
You want to? He's
so-
about to be available.
Yeah, Holgorson's available.
Yeah, I know it. And this is something, and you can ask Tony, you can ask Jeff. I have been predicting this for a long time. Holgorson is absolutely he's a fantastic offensive mind. He is one of the best offensive coordinators in the nation, without a doubt. He is a horrible head coach. Horrible.
Joey has commissioned Joey's commissioned every witch doctor and voodoo doll around the planet to go after Holgorson right now.
Well,
I have. I've even got my own trolls.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of that Gary Patterson in him, where when things start to go wrong, he doesn't really turn into the skid. You know, Jeff knows this is Nick Saban. When things are going bad at Alabama, which is rare, but the reason that he can always kind of cut it off in the pass is he's very willing to turn into the skid. Like, all right, look, the offensive line's not playing well. I'm going to say it. I'll tell everybody. The offensive line's not playing well. We have too many penalties. All right, here's why that is. And there's no kind of, anything. Patterson is a guy, and Holgorson appears to be this guy that nothing is their fault because they had a plan. It's you idiots for not doing the plan. Like, I had the plan. It's kind of you guys might not get this reference. I don't know. But it's kind of like Pinky and the Brain. I don't know if you know that cartoon from the 90s, but there were two lab rats, and every night Pinky or the Brain would plan to take over the world, and then Pinky would, either screw it up or actually might have been the smarter one. So he's got this whole thing, like, you just do what I tell you to do, it'll be fine. So I think that Holgo has that problem a little bit where it's like, you know what? I told these kids what to do. They're not doing it. It's not my fault. Well, buddy, you're the boss, man. If they're not doing it, you're not telling them the right way. So they're fighting on the sideline. That's on you. They're doing all this. That's on you.
Right. I kind of look at it
as Dana was the same way at West Virginia.
Holgorson kind of like writes the script and then blames them that the movie's bad.
Yeah,
it wasn't
exactly.
his script that was bad. It's your movie that was bad of acting in that. That's kind of how he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. At West Virginia, we were used to ranking and our recruiting rankings being in the top 30 pretty much year in, year out, and a lot of times top 20. Now, all of a sudden, when Dana Holgorson comes in, we drop back in the 50s and 60s in recruiting. Now, he was pretty good in the transfer portal. He got some good players out of the transfer portal, and got them in. So he was able to have decent teams. But we wasn't setting the world on fire by any means. And we had so much talent in 2018 because of the transfer portal and because of seniors on that team that had been in the program for 4 years, getting strength and conditioning under Mike Joseph, who I think is probably one of the best strength and conditioning coaches in the nation. Dana Holgorson couldn't do anything with that 2018 team. You guys know this. And we should have been B12 champs that year. But there's no doubt in my mind with the talent we had on the team, we should have been B12 champs. So Dana Holgorson is not a good coach. And what I was saying, Paul, I've got a troll that follows me around. He goes by Dana Holgorson. And he'll go in anywhere I'm at. And he'll say, can somebody get Joey Foster to leave me alone and quit and stuff? It's a lot of fun.
Is it really just Tar Heel or Judicial Protest or one of those guys?
That probably is Judicial Protest or one of those guys. Yeah, I'm sure.
Tar Heel, maybe. Yeah. Your friend.
Yeah, well, Tar Heel.
I'll tell you. You know who else has a little bit of that in him, and Jeff gets to experience the glory of that this week is Jimbo Fisher. The difference between Jimbo Fisher and Gary Patterson and Dana Holgorson is Jimbo Fisher's actually it's been successful, at the highest level. That's the only difference. Otherwise, you take away that his, national championships as an offensive coordinator and as a head coach, he's the same guy. And he might be the same guy right now because essentially every time you leave a place, your career starts over, and the only people that ever proved that differently were Gene Stallings way back when he went to Alabama after getting fired at A&M, and Urban Meyer and Nick Saban. Like, there's like three guys who've done it. Everybody else, you win at one place, and then that's kind of what your thing is. So, yeah, there's a lot of that in him too. And like, like you said, the script is great. This was perfect. This was Apocalypse Now. You guys should know how to do this, but it's not. But that's how it is. And like you got the exact opposite though now, Joey and Neal Brown, who's not that guy. He's very much accountable. It's just whatever is going on there isn't working to the fullest of what the fans want to happen at West Virginia.
Right, and he's got great recruiting. Somebody said, "Well, Joey, he's not got top 20 recruiting," and I said, "Well, no, but you got to look at where he was taken over at. We were 56th in the nation, I think, in 2019, which was a Dana Holgorson class. He can't take it and flip it to 15th in the nation all of a sudden. It's just like rankings; you got to move up in it a little bit at a time. So he's slowly moving us up, and we're back in the 30s." That's a good improvement to me, and so that tells me he's a great recruiter. He's a great family guy. The players love him, but for some reason, he's got some bad calls. Why do you go for it? So like yesterday, we went for it on 4th and 15, but in the Pitt game, we didn't go for it on 4th and 6 inches, and that would have sewed the game up. We would have won it 4th and 6 inches, but he goes for it yesterday on 4th and 15.
Yeah. He's a Sunday to Friday guy right now. Sunday to Friday, he's unbelievable. Saturday, Saturday's not his day. But Sunday to Friday, athletic director comes out and watches practice like, man, these guys are humming. Look at these assistant coaches he's brought in. Look at the way he's dealt with all these guys jumping in the portal. Look at all like what he's done. And then Saturday comes around, they don't go for it on 4th and inches. Like those kind of things. Like, oh, now we have to go for it on 4th and 15. Like, you got balls now, Neal? Like, what's going on? So, yeah, I thought Mike Norvell, like, until 3 weeks ago, I thought Mike Norvell was that guy. So, you never know.